Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Inhabit Mars channel. We've recorded this a couple of times now. The girls really wanted to be in the video today. Today we are going to look at this Gigapan by Neville Thompson. You're gonna sit down. um, this is from Sol 844, and we actually have several Gigapans of this area. The rover spent an extended amount of time in this area. And I believe it was there from at least Sol 796 all the way up to Sol 906. And that being said, we actually did a video, and I will post a link to it, on Sol 906, where we found our Martian friend sitting on a hilltop looking back at the rover. And we actually do have him in 844 also. He was looking at the rover, and at first I thought, well, maybe it wasn't a person, but then I noticed that he's in a different position, leaning way to the left, and he's got his left leg way up underneath him, and the right one stretched all the way out. So I'll try to show that when we get over to that Gigapan. I just wanted to show you real quick, if anybody's interested in these shirts, we actually made, we went to Teespring and made some t-shirts to help support the channel. Now the actual shirts will not have this black border on it. That was my mistake, and Jenny actually had to fix it. But I'll show you what the original ones look like. But we got t-shirts, we got onesies, and Laura's modeling her little onesie. Can you show everybody your onesie? This is Alara, and she's got her onesie on. Once again, the onesies, all the shirts that you get will not have the black border around them, and I'll show you that on our page. And let me go over to the page and show you. If you're interested in these, it'll help support the work that we're doing. But these are the t-shirts that we will be selling. They're sweatpants and everything else. Just go to teespring.com/stores/inhabit-mars-2. And the reason it's a -2 is, once again, I messed up the first time. I had to take the whole store down. But yeah, we went ahead and put everything we could. We'll actually add face masks and coffee cups and other stuff with our logo on it. If you want to support the channel, we sure appreciate it. All right, so let's get back to our Gigapan here. And I'm not going to show a whole bunch of images because this is going to be an in-depth video. In fact, this video, I'm going to go ahead and split into two parts, because in the later sols, the rover was actually around the back side of the hill, and we got to look at the hill from pretty much all angles. What really interested me in this hill from the beginning was the fact that we have these cave structures. And I'm going to go ahead and jump into Blender Live here, and I just want to show you, this is the first cave, or opening to the cave. I believe that this entire hill is one massive underground cave, and there's actually, we saw in some of the other Gigapans, there's actually a pathway that leads up to another opening over here, and then there's also one on the back side of this hill over here. Okay, and there's, you can see the pathway, and it leads up to that, and this is the back side of the hill, which we'll get into in the next video. And I want to bring in a friend of mine who's a paleonologist and a geologist, and ask him about some of these things that we see grow, well, between the crevices of these rocks. We've seen them all over in this image. In fact, if I go to the actual 3D model, let me click on something so we can rotate around it. And it's all over the ground. I mean, everywhere. And I really wanted his opinion on what he thought this stuff would be. And then it's actually growing in some of the rocks here also. So we have this pretty much everywhere in this image, and this isn't the only image where we have those. So let's go ahead and flip back around. And now this is Jenny, if y'all remember. She modeled with our Martian friend. Y'all had a pretty good time up there, and yeah, it was a great time. So I want to ask Jenny a couple of things. And what was your first impression when I showed you this Gigapan? And what did you think about this whole area?
I thought it looked really cool. Like, that's pretty big. It looks cool. And I saw that hole, the opening. I'm like, is that some kind of cave?
Oops, I did the wrong thing, of course. Let's show the cave while she's talking about it. And you thought it was a cave too? I mean, it looks like it. You can see this darker portion in here where it looks like it goes in.
Some kind of cave.
Okay. And then I noticed that it seemed to have some sort of structure to it. We have a piece right here that really looks like it has structure to it. It's rectangular. What was your opinion on this? And let me go ahead and move the model out of the way so you can see it underneath it. And this is the actual image. This is how it came. In fact, Neville Thompson did a good job using the PDS data and everything to clean up these images. And as most of y'all know, he does not add or take away anything from these images. This is just taking it and using the PDS data to clean up the images. And I didn't even have to burn through any of this really to bring out a lot of this stuff. But what did you think of this structure right here?
It looks like some kind of stove that was beat up.
Okay, like a stove?
Yeah.
Okay. And I thought maybe it was part of the building structure itself from this hill, but okay. This stuff right here is what I'm kind of talking about that I want to bring in an expert. He really is an expert. Like I say, he's paleobotany. That was the other thing that he has a PhD in is paleobotany. And so I really want to get his opinion on this because I have a theory on this of what this stuff is. Okay, and so we saw this right here, and then one of the next things that I noticed was this piece sticking up right here. And I remember Chris doing a video on this, Chris Maroney from Mars Anomalies and Beyond. I was really hoping he'd get into what he thought that this piece could be. But what did you think of this piece right here?
It looks like a boat.
Like a boat?
Yeah, one of those toy boats that you make out of paper hats and newspapers.
Oh, okay. Well, it has structure to it, and my thought on this was it was a shard of very large shard from pottery because if you look at this is the pathway leading out of the cave, and it takes up a lot of space right there. So what I did was I modeled it looking like a piece of a giant vase or something. All right. And that's what I saw that as. And I'm going to show y'all when we get over to the actual 3D model of this too. But then another thing that kind of caught my eye was these up here. What did you think these were right here?
Those look like wooden planks.
Okay, the top part looks like wooden plank.
The top
And what about the siding on it? Oh, let me move these out of the way. If I grab both, will it? Yes, it will. I tried it something different this time. Instead of attaching all this to it, I just parented them to them. So you see the little lines showing where it's parented to. But let's move these out of the way. And there you go. There's the actual structures, whatever they are. So you thought that it kind of looked like a boat. And it could be. I don't know. What I thought they were giant platforms. Like this was a lookout off this mountain. You see how sharp the mountain drops off, or the hill. It's not a mountain. The hill drops off on this side, and these could be some sort of platforms for lookout. This second platform that I modeled right here is actually tilted downward. I think all this stuff slid and was headed down the mountain and eventually will slide off of the mountain if there's any geological processes left on Mars. Then one of the other objects that we came to that caught my eye, and I was really fascinated by this, was these two objects here. And let me just move these out of the way so you can see them. And we're going to go to the blow up of both of these up top because I have a very zoomed in image. When you saw these two objects, dear, I guess start with this one right here. What did you think about this right here?
That looks like a wheelbarrow, like the ones that construction workers use.
Yeah,
They put
exactly.
dirt
And
in
that's what
there.
I thought. In fact, people I passed this around to kind of told me the same thing. All right. And I think that's what it is. And I'm going to show that in the blow up top. And then what about this piece right here?
That one. That one to me. If you guys ever seen those construction vehicles, that's what it looks like. The centerpiece that they use to control the crane or the digger, whatever it is. That's what they use to control it.
Yeah, the control panel.
Yeah.
And I thought so too. And in fact, let's go ahead and go up to the blow up here. All right, so this is the zoomed in of it. Now, I didn't put the objects inside the wheelbarrow. I thought about it, but I think that he's carrying some sort of piece of equipment in this wheelbarrow, and you can see that right here. This is rectangular, okay? It's got a rock texture added to it, and I believe that was added later. But you can see the sides of the wheelbarrow, which once again has a rock texture added to it. But you can also see this round like wheel cover and then the actual wheel coming out the bottom. You can see what looks like a handle coming out, and this handle you can't see. And then right here, how close can I get before it breaks up? This looks like a control panel. You can see the one lighter color joystick right here attached to a square box. You can see a darker colored joystick, same shape, attached to a square box. You can just about make out two toggle switches down here. Okay, that's these two right here. And then there's some stuff in here, and it looked like switches to me. So first let's start with the wheelbarrow. Let me go ahead and put them back. And this is kind of what that wheelbarrow looks like. And then I'm going to show you that control panel. All right, so this is the wheelbarrow. And we've got these pieces that come in that attach it to the strong point here on the front. And then you got what looks like a fender wheel cover. All right. And then you got the wheel inside. All right. And it kind of looked like some bracing down here also. And then it goes into the rods that go underneath. And boy, now I'm looking at it, those do look a little thin. I probably should have thickened those up, but hopefully you get the idea. And then he's got that object inside of the wheelbarrow, which I'm not sure what that thing is, but it's definitely looks like it has a rock texture added to it. I don't think that's the actual texture, but you can see that it's got a square shape. It's sitting kind of catty corner in there. It's actually got some pieces sticking out on the front, and then it's got what looks like mechanical parts on top. And I think if Chris were to do a video on this, I think he would definitely agree with that, that these look like mechanical parts on top of it, or mechanical pieces, all right? So now let's get to this. Now these buttons I added, I have no idea what's actually in this area on it, but I assumed it probably had some sort of buttons. But you can definitely see the joystick right here. It's round. It's got a shaft right here. Goes into a square box in the middle, and I'll rotate around it so you can get a good view of that. And then you can see a darker colored one, same shape. It's got that shaft coming out the bottom, and then it goes into a square box. And there's those toggle switches. Okay, that's what those look like. And like I say, I assumed the texture is too hard to tell, but I assume these are probably switch panels in here for whatever this controlled. And you see the arch shape to it. Okay, so let's now look at this object. And let me zoom out just a bit. And once again, this is all just conjecture here. I have no idea what these switches look like, but we could see the toggle switches, what look like toggle switches here. All right, and then we could see these two, what look like joysticks in there. All right, and the texture down here is the actual texture from the image, and then we just duplicate on the backside and the inside so we could give an idea what it really looks like. But to show off the different colors and stuff and the shape, I really wanted to create textures for this. Thought I shaded this thing smooth. There we go. Sorry about that. Now it's smooth. I thought I hit shade smooth on it, but there we go. So that smooths it out a little bit. But there you go. Those are the two joysticks. This controls something. This is some sort of industrial controller. And I tried to look for something similar through Google Images, and I didn't find anything exactly like it. Or, of course, probably not going to find anything exact, but not even close enough to where I could show you. But if you look up industrial controllers, you can look at all kinds of these things. So there you go. That's what that looks like. And once again, let's look at the panel alongside with it. And if you look close, you can really see those. There's the one joystick. There's the other. Probably a switch panel right here, although we can't really tell. But then I can see there's what looks like one toggle switch there, and part of the view is obscured by the edge of this thing. In fact, if I raised mine up higher, but there's the other one sticking up right there. But that's kind of what that looks like, and that was really interesting. Okay, so now I want to go to, okay, so we'll look at it here first. And here's another one I want to get your opinion on, dear. Oh, did I show all around this object and move it out of the way?
You moved it out of the way, yes.
But I didn't go around it.
No.
That's kind of the shape that structure has. And if you look real close, it looks like it's hollow in the front and then hollow on the top. And let's take a look at that so you can see it. That's what I wanted to do. And there you go. See how it's got that opening on the top? And then it actually, if you look through here, it looks like an opening through here too. So I believe that is some sort of structure. But next, oh, did I hide you on accident? Or did I not put you in place? I accidentally hit it. Okay. So next, did I parent everything, I hope? Let's look at this object here. Nope, I didn't parent it. I'll do that real quick so they'll move together. Hold on, sweetie. All right, let's parent those objects together so they'll move together. And hold on, sweetheart. Okay, what did you think of this right here?
Oh, I know what she's asking you.
What?
She's got a loose hangnail.
Okay, we'll get in a minute, sweet. What did you think of this object right here?
That one I couldn't really exactly tell, but you can see like a screw hanging out right there. If you move the mouse.
Yeah, this piece right here.
Yeah, that looks like some kind of screw.
Let me do something. I think I have a zoom in of this. Hang on. Here you go. Let's look at the zoomed in image of it. Now, are these parented? Yes, I can see the parent lines. Okay, so you're talking about this piece right here where this part actually sticks out.
Like a nail and a screw.
Okay. And did you have an opinion on what you thought the shape
Some kind of wall, and that's all I can think of, some kind of wall. But
and you noticed this.
Yeah, that, to me, that looks like some kind of sandcastle.
Right.
Half of it.
Okay. And honestly, that's what I thought it was, like some sort of toy building or something. So let's take a look at this. And by the way, the ground in this area looks like it's scorched. Okay, it's darker than the ground around it. So what I thought maybe that this thing was some sort of kiln or oven, um, especially since we've seen pottery shards around here. Um, they probably clear out the ash from the bottom and just dump it here in the front. But maybe they're still making pottery or something. I don't know. And then this was maybe one of the objects that they made in this kiln. But yeah, I thought, let's start with this is the shape that it had. Hey, thank you. This is the shape that it had. All right. And I had to add the concrete texture from Polygon. Andrew Price at Polygon. I usually leave a link to his page. They have some really cool textures that are tileable, and I love his textures. I use them a lot. All right, so that's what I thought that was. And then I thought I rotated that, but okay. And then this is what she was talking about. That kind of looks like that sandcastle, and it does. It looks like either maybe concrete or some sort of kind of rough texture at the bottom, and then kind of like a plastic like texture at the top, and it had this oval, this archway on the front of it. So, but it's too small to be an actual building. So I think that was probably a maybe some sort of toy or a little statue of a building, you know. It'd probably be about this tall. Hopefully you can see my hands. And it's not very tall anyway. And then there was this piece right here, and I'm going to show you in the image. There it is right there. I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's on a metal base and it's plastic at the top, and it's laid over almost onto this second ridge line. There's two ridge lines that go through this darker ashy looking ground. Okay, you see one ridge line, you see the second one. And I went to model these and add texture to them from the image. I found out the hard way that you can only put so many image textures in an image before they start becoming transparent. And I used probably a good 25 different images. I kept zooming in on the image. I kept snipping it and making textures out of them, and using those textures to texture everything, and wound up running into a problem with, after a while it couldn't handle all the textures anymore, and then even the background panels that I had put up just turned blank. Hey, keep it down. Thank you. And so you're fine. You just slipped. So anyway, so I had to actually start adding just materials in there to texture these things. So this seems to have a metal base to it, which I textured in metal, and then it's got these oval like shapes, two oval shapes put together to make something, and I don't know what it is. Don't even have the
like toilet paper together.
2 rolls of toilet paper. Maybe that's where all our toilet paper went. That's why we have this shortage. The Martians ran out of toilet paper.
So they came down
and they took our toilet paper. There you go. That's the answer. But anyway, what it is, I don't know. All right. Oh. And this is that area. Oh, let me show this real quick. If you remember in the video we did on Sol 906, these were those tent structures. They're in here too, and you can still see the opening. And here is our Martian friend. Now look how far to the left he's leaning. You see him, babe?
Kind of.
And his left leg is cocked up this time. It's not out like it was in the other, and that's why I think we have our Martian friend has been watching this rover for a long time. Now that I interrupted him, what were you going to say to him?
Well, you know, Mike always watches our videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday.
Oh, Mike's birthday is today?
Mikey Ray's birthday is today.
Oh, happy birthday, Mike. Hope you're doing good out there. So happy birthday. All right, so now let's get into this part here, and we're at 25 minutes, doing good. Now, I really want to show this hill because this took a long time to decipher this hill and make sure we got everything close. And I know that we're not exactly right on this, but I want to go ahead and show you this hill because we're close. And we took several of those Gigapans, and I want to thank Neville Thompson for those Gigapans. Now, we know that this cave is right. We got this pretty well right. And here's our shard again. We can go around it. And this is like a pottery shard is what it looks like. And I don't know if these are natural rocks or these are some sort of statues of, well, I say statues, but some sort of structures that they built. But this is the cave entrance, and we're going to go ahead and show inside the cave here in a minute, but I just want to show you from the outside what these structures look like. This was the front cave, and we saw that in one of the Gigapans. Then, and I apologize, my textures aren't going to match because these were obviously taken on different days, so this one has a more brownish tint. But then we also have this entrance over here, and it's going to be kind of dark in there. Let me do something real quick. Oops. There, now we can rotate around it. Now let's go in here. And this is inside, this is looking inside the cave. And it's going to be dark in here. We have no lighting in here. I probably should have just added a very dim light, but you can still see it. And this is conjecture. I have no idea what the actual cave itself looks like, but this is based on the shape of the hill, and I'll pull it out of the hill so you can see. This is what it looks like based on what we could tell. Now, my friend Bruce, Dr. Cornet, he let me know that, you know, you got to have some supporting structures in here, which I'm sure they do, some columns going up, and that the cave is probably a lot larger than in actuality because of the fact that it would not, the rock on the outside would not support itself, okay? So this is, like he said, to maybe explain it as this is the maximum size that that cave could be, all right? And then we get around, I should do this slowly so you get an idea, especially since we took so long to model this.
We had a lot to model.
Yeah. And what I want to show is on the back side, we have another cave entrance over here. If I can get to it, I need to click on something inside the cave. Click on one of these. There we go. Now we'll be able to rotate, right? And this is looking from what would be the left side of the hill in the Gigapan that I showed you. Oh gosh. All right, if I could just do this right. Keep getting my mouse off the screen. Okay, there we go. And this is looking from the back side of the cave going into the cave. All right, once again, it's pretty dark in here. But that's kind of gives you an idea of what the cave might look like on the inside. Maybe a little smaller, as Bruce said, because you need more support from the rock. And so we believe that the Martians probably live underground at this point because of the severe temperature drops at night. And as I'm sure most of you know, especially those that follow Chris's channel, the temperature, he's talked about that a lot of times. Daytime, it can be moderate, you know. Like I said, I looked the other day and it was in the upper 20s Fahrenheit on Mars. And it's supposed to be in the winter months right now, but at nighttime it was supposed to drop to almost minus 80. So yeah, it gets pretty cold at night, so I'm sure they hunker down at night in these underground structures that they built. So what I want to do now is let's go ahead and pull this cave out of the rock so you get an idea now of what it might look like. So let's pull you out. There we go. And this is kind of what that cave looks like. This is the shape of it. Let's go up top so you can see I modeled it based on the shape of the rock underneath. Am I still in, do I still have matte cap turned on? Yes, I do. Okay. So this is what's called matte capping, and this basically gives color so you can see depth and stuff. It helps you model. And you can see the shape of the rocks underneath. Okay, and we're looking directly down on it, and I modeled it, to fit where these cave entrances were. And then same with the thickness and everything. I wanted it to match, to be, give a little bit of space for support, which once again, like Bruce says, I probably need to shrink it down vertically to make it fit better. But you can kind of see now that this is how it looks, and once again, it's a guess based on the 3 entrances that we have. Okay, one over here, one over here, and then the third one over here. All right, and there's one entrance here, one entrance here, and one entrance here. And that's kind of what it looks like. In fact, if I just go into,
cool.
Oh, the matte capping?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really helps with modeling. If I just put them back in place, maybe with Look Dev, you can see a little better inside the cave. Yeah, okay, that's a little better. And you can see, get an idea. And once again, this is all just a guess based on the shape of the hill itself. Why can't I click on anything? There we go. Just need something to click on. All right, and that's based on the hill itself. I just took a guess at what it might look like. And there you go. So that's about all we have for today's video, but next we're going to do a moon video. This is one I've been wanting to work on for a while. We're going to look at this area right here. Now this is, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly correctly, but this is called the Demoisu area. Hopefully I pronounced it close to right. Chris is actually, in the last few live sessions for sure, he's gone over this area. And what I did was I went, now he got the image from a ebook that NASA or JPL, one of the two, had put out, and it was overexposed and a little grainier. Now, Chris is a master at cleaning these up, so he's able to do that. Well, I'm not a master at cleaning up images, so I'm not that great at it. But so I went and found the original image, the exact same image that he's been talking about. And in this, I think you can see these structures and stuff that he's been talking about a lot clearer. And I actually sent him a link to this in case he wanted it. But we're going to look at that one next. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but sadly this last video has taken a while to do. Over 3 weeks now we've been working on that. So we're going to look at that, all right? And then we're going to come back to this image, and let's go back. And we're going to actually go around to the back side, because here's a front, which we just looked at, okay? And then we are going to take a look at the back side of this hill. We found some really cool stuff back here, like this piece here, which we'll get into. Oops, I'm still in edit mode, that's why. Right there, and then I just modeled this rock because it looked cool. And there's some pieces laying around, which we'll talk about. In our next video, there's a lot more, I just haven't got to them. Like this weird little piece right here, which looks like a metal plate that would go on, not plate like you eat off of, but a plate like it would be plating for something. That's what that looks like, and it's even got shadow underneath it. And then I want to get in with Dr. Bruce Cornet. with his opinion on what these things are because they're all over this image. All right. And once again, if anybody's interested in t-shirts, I don't know if you can see the prices on here, but we lowered the prices. The suggested prices were pretty high, so I tried to drop it down where we still make a little bit of profit, but like not a whole lot of profit. We'd rather people buy the shirts and get the word out there about our channel. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, yeah, check out our page, and here's the link up here, and of course I'll go ahead and put it in the description and everything. So listen, you guys have a good week. They're busy. I was gonna have the girls say goodbye real quick, and
Say bye-bye?
come here, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants to say bye.
Come here, Laura. Show off your shirt, and we'll show off ours while we're standing here. Hey, look, the shirt. Come here, sweetie. Everybody, say goodbye to everybody. You want to come say goodbye?
Here she is.
Yeah, bring me. Oh, Aurora's here. Say, look at my onesie. If you want a onesie, we got them in all colors. All right. So, say goodbye, everybody. Wave bye-byes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Wave bye-bye, sweetie. Which hand? This one?
Yep. She's right-handed.
All right. Wave bye-bye. Oh, let me hold her up. Wave bye-byes. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah, good job.
All right. You guys have a good week. Oh, there she goes. And we'll see you on the next video. Like I say, the next one will be the moon video. And then we'll get back to the backside of this hill. So you guys have a good week and take care of each other out there.